Tension at Plateau State Assembly as ousted PDP lawmakers return. Crisis rocks Assembly as members impeach Speaker in Ogun State. FCT primary school teachers protest non-payment of salary arrears. On the foreign scene, Supreme Court allows federal agents to cut razor wire in U.S.-Mexico border. Hello again and welcome to Trust TV News Update at this hour. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for joining us again. We'll begin with a political story where 16 ousted Plateau PDP lawmakers, despite a Court of Appeal decision nullifying their elections, forcefully entered the old government house where the Assembly plenary was scheduled on Tuesday. Their defiance stemmed from the belief that the Supreme Court's endorsement of Governor Mutfwang's election affirmed their legitimacy as members of the Assembly, backed by a vocal group of supporters.
We are satisfied and convinced with the position of the Right Honorable Speaker. As you are aware, we are law-abiding citizens of this country and this state. And we are lawmakers, we are not supposed to be lawbreakers. And as you can see, we coordinate ourselves. We are harmonious in our approach and we are cordial. And by that, we agree absolutely with the position of the leadership of the Plateau State House of Assembly, and we abide by that.
There is court process that they have surfaced in regard to that 16 vacancies. As I'm talking to you, there are 32 members claiming 16 vacancies in the Assembly. And as I said, we as lawmakers, we are not law interpreters, so we allow the institution, that is the judiciary, to do the needful by interpreting the law. And at the right time, we know who are the rightful occupant of the 16 constituencies, and we'll do the rightful thing at the right time as an Assembly. But for now, myself and the honorable colleagues, the duly members of the Assembly, were 8 for now until determination of the court. Thank you.
Earlier on the news, we had Trust TV's Adomusa, and he gave us an update on the situation.
Well, today, after the Speaker of the House, alongside the 7 members of the All Progressive Congress, arrived at the venue, that is the All Government House, they went into plenary. But soon after they arrived at the venue, the 16 SAC PDP lawmakers also stormed the venue of the preliminary. But at first, they were prevented from going in. But later on, the security personnel allowed them to go into the premises. But before they get into the plenary, the members have already come out. That is the Speaker and the other 17 APC members, where the Speaker of the House addressed us regarding the development. What the Speaker was saying is he was in the receipt of a court order, but he could not explain to us what was the content of the court order, whether to swear in the 16 APC members who were declared winner by the appeal court or not. All he told journalists was he was in the receipt of court order and he's waiting for the court to interpret the situation. So whatever the court determines at the end of the day, that is what he will act on. Whether the court say, okay, these PDP members will now be the authentic members, or the 15 APC members who were declared winner by the Court of Appeal will now be the members of the House of Assembly. But he said that as of now, he only knows that there are only 8 members of the State Assembly. But 32 of the State Assembly members, or rather persons, are still fighting for the 16th seat.
Thank you so much, Adomusa. Now, I understand that the Speaker isn't really saying much, and he has cited his reasons why he's not saying much. But what comes next, and what do you make of the body language of the state government at the moment?
Well, after the Speaker addressed the journalists regarding the position of the House, the other 16 PDP lawmakers who were also sacked, like I said it earlier, they also stormed the House, but they stopped at the premises where they also addressed journalists that they are also in support of the position of the Speaker. So they say they are willing to wait for what the court will now interpret regarding the development.
So if I get you correctly, the state governor hasn't said anything in line with all of this drama that is going on?
No, the state government has yet to say anything. But you know, the APC, like we always say, or rather they always say, they have been accusing the state government for instigating these certain lawmakers to come into the House. But up to this moment, the state government is yet to say anything. But the APC this morning also told journalists that they have even asked those 16 APC members that were declared winner by the appeal court not to even go to the venue of the plenary. According to them, they did that in order to avoid any clash between the supporters of the PDP and the APC.
Meanwhile, in Ogun State, the House of Assembly members have impeached its Speaker, Olakunle Oluomo. This development, which transpired on Tuesday morning, unfolded through a simple majority decision within the Assembly. Sources close to the matter revealed that Daisy Elemide, a member representing Odeda constituency, has stepped into the role of Speaker, effectively replacing Oluomo. The roots of this power shift trace back to a previous contest between Elemide and Oluomo, in which the latter emerged victorious due to the perceived backing of the executive. The assembly complex reportedly descended into chaos, with tensions escalating to the point of tear gas being deployed to disperse the agitated crowd. The removal of Oluomo signifies a significant shake-up in the political landscape of Ogun State. And now to the south-south region of the country. A high court sitting in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, has struck out a suit filed by the Rivers Elders and Leaders Forum challenging the constitutionality of President Bola Tinubu's peace pact between the Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, and his predecessor, Nyesom Wike. The presiding judge, Justice Chinwendu Mwogu, struck out the case on the grounds that the State High Court lacked jurisdiction to hear the matter. At the commencement of the hearing, counsel for the claimant argued that all respondents in the matter are yet to be served court summons, adding that the matter cannot be heard when all parties are not served. Counsel for Rivers Elders and Leaders Forum, Anab Sarah Igbe, said the forum would appeal the decision of the High Court. The Rivers Elders and Leaders Forum, led by former Governor of Rivers State, Rufus Ada George, had condemned the peace pact reached by Fubara and Wike's camps after Tinubu's intervention, saying the agreement was undemocratic and harmful. Ahead of the by-elections scheduled to take place on the 3rd of February 2023, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Rebadu, and the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, have assured the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Mahmoud Yakubu, and Nigerians of adequate security that will guarantee free and fair elections. They gave the assurance during INEC's meeting with members of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security Issues ahead of the February 3rd by-elections. Newell Sampson was present at the meeting and now reports.
The INEC chairman, who highlighted the importance of the by-elections, enjoined security agencies to ensure that adequate security measures are put in place to guarantee a free, fair and acceptable poll. Also hinted on the Commission's preparation for the off-cycle elections coming up this year in Edo and other states.
Your task as members of the XS is to ensure security for the elections. For this reason, the Commission has already provided to the Nigerian Police Force, and in particular the Inspector General of Police, the full information on the locations where the elections will be held, broken down by states, local government areas, registration areas or wards, and polling units. Arising from the reports we received from the states, concerns have been expressed about the impact of the prevailing insecurity in some states on the conduct of the elections, made worse by incendiary statements by some political actors. We will present such concerns and reports to this meeting for appropriate security response. The Commission has also released the timetable and schedule of activities for the 2 off-cycle governorship elections in Edo State, scheduled for 21st September 2024, and Ondo State, holding on 16th November 2024.
The representative of the National Security Advisor and the IG of Police restated their commitment to provide a conducive environment for the elections.
The Office of the National Security Advisor and security agencies, under the platform of ICES, will sustain collaboration with INEC to ensure that elections are conducted in a secure and peaceful environment.
As a lead agency in election management, will be providing security alongside with other security agencies for this election. We are aware of the challenges associated with the conduct of isolated elections, and I want to assure Nigerians that we are on top of the situation.
The by-elections will be held on Saturday, 3rd February 2024 across 9 states of the Federation, covering 2 senatorial districts, 4 federal constituencies, and 3 state constituencies. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State has imposed 24-hour curfew on the Mangu local government area of the state, with immediate effect following the deteriorating security situation within the area. In a press statement, a spokesperson for the governor, Gyang Bere, said the decision was taken after consultations with relevant security agencies to avoid breakdown of law and order in the local government area. Bere said citizens, especially Mangu residents, are enjoined to comply with the sit-at-home order, while only persons on essential duties are allowed to move within the local government area until further notice. The governor lamented that some people are still determined to create an atmosphere of insecurity in the state, despite government's efforts to end activities of terrorist elements. He also sympathized with families of the victims and the injured, assuring that government will not relent in ensuring lasting peace in the state. He promised that the curfew would be reviewed as soon as security situation improves in the locality.
You people are aware there's presently a curfew in Mangu because of the little issue that happened in the houses today. There was a little skirmish of attack in some parts of that particular area, and by the grace of God, our very alert police officers and special forces repel fire effectively, and I can also assure you that there are casualties on the side of the assailants. Presently, like you can see, we are about to go to Mangu, Barikin Ladi, Riom, and Bokos for surveillance patrol, and all is well. Concerning the curfew in Mangu, we'd like to tell everybody to remain calm. The curfew is for the safety and the good of all Plateau citizens that live within the houses and that will ply the road along the houses. But I can assure you that all is well. Our men have been deployed, and a whole lot is going on to ensure the safety of life and property on the plateau. So the Inspector General of Police has just deployed for us surveillance helicopter, and I can assure you more will come to ensure that we effectively nip this in the bud. Thank you very much.
Joining us live now at this time via Zoom from Plateau State, we have Musa Ashoms, Commissioner of Information and Communication, Plateau State. Thank you so much for joining us on News Update, Mr. Commissioner.
Thank you for having me.
Now, very quickly, let us get your thoughts. What is the government's plan to stabilize this volatile security environment in Plateau State?
You know, in the past, when these things happen, you do not see anything like aerial surveillance. You can see that we have had some level of improvement. Watching from the spokesperson of the Nigerian Police Force here on the Plateau, PPRO, you could see that even when he was giving you his last statements, he was heading to the chopper so that they will be moving to Mangu, and Mangu is not far from Barikil-Ladi, is not far from Bokos and Riom, because we had asked that we need aerial surveillance so that our assailants don't just come. What has happened?
Okay.
It is improving, but the best thing that our people will want is a situation whereby, in the first place, we attack them. So we want to empathize and sympathize with our people over this Dastard Act. As a government, this is not good for us. As a people, this is not fair. So as a government, we will continue to work hard to protect our people, to protect their properties, and of course, to take care of their welfare and to dish out dividends of democracy. It's quite pathetic and unfortunate that 2 days after the Thanksgiving service that we had in Jos, where all Plateau sons and daughters came to give God all the glory, to give thanks to God for what he has done for us by giving us his excellency, Mr. Caleb Manasseh Muftwang, that we're waking up today with this incident. But a curfew has been imposed on Mangu with the intention of curtailing this pogrom and insurgency. And we pray and hope that security agencies will redouble their efforts. The way they deploy people for political election seasons, we pray that they will do more, because there's insecurity already, and we hope that it will be curtailed beforehand.
Okay, you have stated how perhaps uncomfortable this curfew may be, although the government having the best interest of the people at heart. Now, the 24-hour curfew is now in effect. Is the government considering an extension, and what are the determining factors here?
Once our people can go about their business is normal, it's not our intention to impose curfews on our communities, because once you do that, you curtail economic activities. Once you do that, you stop the people from enjoying certain rights and freedoms. But in their own interest, that is why we have imposed this curfew. So when the security agencies give us the right briefings, they give us the right intelligence, we'll review it. It's only but natural. It's not in our place, it's not in our interest to impose curfew on peace-loving Nigerians. Once there's peace, don't hear us impose any curfew. It's because there's our peace has been tampered with. That is why the governor, in his deep thoughts, decided to impose a curfew on Mangu. But you know that we said those that give essential services are even free to go about their normal businesses when they have valid ID cards, so that security agencies can allow them go about their businesses.
Okay.
But for now, there is a curfew imposed on Mangu.
So curfew extension or not is based on security agencies' briefs. Now, earlier today, the ousted PDP lawmakers stormed the Assembly building to take part in parliamentary proceedings, despite being sacked by the appeal court. What is the position of the administration on this particular matter?
You know, we don't want to interfere with the House. The House is an independent arm. And, you know, our governor is a lawyer, not a judge and bail one. A lawyer that has over 3 decades experience, and they are an independent body, and I do not speak for them. They have people that are eminently qualified to do so. So allow them to sort themselves out, and once they sort themselves out, we'll be ready to work with them. And like I said, we do not speak for the House of Assembly. They have their spokesperson, they have the way they do their stuff, they have their modus operandi, and it's not the same with ours, even though we're in the same state. Once that is sorted out, we're going to work in synergy, in tandem, to dish out the dividends of democracy to our people, the people that voted for us, the peace-loving Plateau people. So the House of Assembly matter is going to be sorted out by that independent arm. So we do not interfere in their matters.
Okay, thank you so much. There we had Musa Ashoms, Commissioner of Information and Communication, Plateau State. Thank you so much for your time on the news update.
Thank you for having me on the news update.
This is a news update on Trust TV. Still ahead. Northern youth groups kick against relocating FAN CBN departments to Lagos. Details of this story and more to come after the break. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying. But if you're just joining us, this is a Trust TV News Update. Let's take a look at a recap of some of our top stories. You heard that tension at Plateau State Assembly as ousted PDP lawmakers return. Crisis rocks Assembly as members impeach Speaker in Ogun State. To more news. Primary school teachers in the Federal Capital Territory on Tuesday staked a protest at the Unity Fountain in Abuja over what they termed poor attention to their welfare by the FCT area councils. The teachers protested the non-payment of salary arrears, promotion arrears, and new minimum wage arrears since 2019. They asked the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, and President Bola Tinubu to intervene in the matter, while calling for a review of the structure of primary education in the country. They also urged the federal government to take up the administration of primary schools from the local government councils. The primary schools teachers in the FCT, who have been on strike for over a week now, said despite the strike, no concrete response has been gotten from the authorities. The Joint Action Committee of Northern Youth Association has kicked against the move by the federal government to relocate critical departments of the Central Bank of Nigeria and the headquarters of the Federal Airport Authority from Abuja to Lagos. The Northern Group, at a press conference in Kaduna, said the decision by the federal government is detrimental to the economic, social and political development of the northern region. Trust TV's Bello Musa completes the story.
The move to relocate the headquarters of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria FAN and some departments of the CBN by the federal government is still generating reaction from different parts of the country, especially the north. The group, while condemning the proposed relocation, said this will have a serious consequences on financial inclusion, stability, and security of the country.
Economic disparity and imbalances have historically been linked to social unrest. A scenario where economic opportunities are concentrated in one region may breed dissatisfaction and frustration in others. To maintain national stability and unity, it is imperative to ensure that economic opportunities are distributed fairly across regions, preventing the emergence of grievances that could lead to social discord. Similarly, we condemn the decision of the Federal Ministry of Aviation to relocate the FAN headquarters to Lagos, which is a clear violation of the federal character principle.
According to the group, Nigeria's northern region has historically contributed in no small measure to Nigeria's economic growth, noting that the relocation will undermine inclusivity and national unity. They are therefore calling for the suspension of the move.
We wish to warn the federal government that such action will not go unchallenged. We will resist them through all available means, including legal, political, and civil action. We will not allow any attempt to undermine the status and integrity of Abuja as the federal capital and the seat of government.
The group further demanded that the federal government affirms the fundamental principle of the establishment of Abuja as the federal capital territory in all policies and programs by state action on the relocation move. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Away from Nigeria, the United States Supreme Court has ruled that Border Patrol agents may resume cutting a razor wire fence that Texas installed on its border with Mexico to deter migrants and asylum seekers from entering the country. The 5-4 ruling on Monday was a victory for the administration of United States President Joe Biden, issued in the midst of an ongoing legal battle that saw a federal appeals court force agents to stop cutting the fence last month. For more than 2 years, the Republican governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, has sought to bar migrants and asylum seekers from entering the U.S. on spooling razor wire that extends over 46 kilometers, that's about 30 miles, of its border with Mexico along the banks of the Rio Grande River, and has left people injured and bloodied. Border control has historically been the legal domain of the federal government. The United States Department of Justice argues that the fence has sown chaos, impeding it from carrying out controls along the border. With that, we've come to the end of the news update at this hour. But remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. And Aisha Salihu, thank you so much for your time.